big old freak, big booty, big old tree. I'ma make him wait for the hit it in these big old ski. Handle me? Who gon' handle me? Thinking he's a player, he's a member on the team. I'm a savage, attitude nasty. Talk big, but my bank account magic. Bite your lip, ask for a call while you ride that dick. Why you really ain't never got him for a thing. He already made his mind up before he came. Yada, 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 yada. How I body that, ate it up and gave it back. Yeah, you look good, but they still wanna know we're making it. I've been lit since brunch, that shit. Order 42 for the table, let's pop shit. Missionary or doggy style on my top shit.
This is my first relationship where I ever been with somebody who's genuinely a nice person, and he makes me genuinely happy.
What if the Houston girl who lost her mother, Holly Thomas, her manager, best friend, and biggest supporter, to a brain tumor in March 2019, lost her great-grandmother who raised her just weeks later, got shot in both feet by Tory Lanez in July 2020 after leaving Kylie Jenner's house, and was told by him to dance, bitch, as he fired from the car.
All I hear is this man screaming, he said, dance, and he started shooting, and I'm just like, oh my God. Like, he shot a couple of times.
Initially lied to police, saying she stepped on glass because she feared they would kill everyone during the George Floyd era. Spent 2 years being called a liar by the internet, despite medical reports showing bullet fragments still in her feet.
I remember them asking me what's happening, what happened to you, and I didn't want them to kill any of us or shoot any of us. So I just said, I stepped on glass.
Watched her former best friend, Kelsey Harris, testify with amnesia after texting "Help, Tory shot Meg" that night, saw Tory Lanez sentenced to 10 years in prison in August 2023, graduated from Texas Southern University with a health administration degree while fighting her record label, 1501 Entertainment, in court for her master's, went independent and financed her own Hot Girls Summer Tour that sold out arenas, including breaking attendance records at Madison Square Garden, launched her own tequila brand and restaurant ventures, became the first Black woman endorsed by Jack Daniels, making 15% on every bottle sold worldwide. Sued blogger Milagro Cooper, Grams, for defamation after she spread deep-fake pornography and shooting conspiracy theories, won that lawsuit in December 2025 with $59,000 in damages, reduced from $75,000.
I'm just happy.
Are you happy then with the outcome?
I'm not ecstatic. Of course you want things to go your way, but like I said, I respect the jury and what they decided.
Started publicly dating Dallas Mavericks star Klay Thompson in mid-2025, making their red carpet debut at her foundation gala in July, and watched him name his boat SS Stallion after her in late 2025, all while being told she's too aggressive, too sexual, too much. Finally stood at 30 years old in 2025 as living proof that surviving trauma doesn't make you broken, it makes you bulletproof. Born February 15th, 1995 in San Antonio, Texas, but raised in Houston's South Park neighborhood.
I'm 100% from Houston, Texas, but my mother was pregnant with me in Houston. My grandmother is from San Antonio. She was like, you need to come have this baby in San Antonio.
Megan Jovan Ruth Pete grew up in a household where rap wasn't just music, it was scripture.
This pussy depressed, I'm about to stress him, yeah, pink nails round his...
Taught by her mother, Holly Thomas, who rapped under the name Hollywood.
I'm gonna say this one more time. I used to want to be just like my mama.
Really?
Because my mama was a rapper. But my mama...
What was the name?
Hollywood.
And refused to let her daughter listen to her explicit lyrics until Megan was old enough to understand them, creating a relationship where mother and daughter would eventually freestyle together.
When my mom was alive, my mama and me used to go back and forth freestyling, or she'll listen to something I wrote or something I recorded, and she'll be like, you can say it harder than that.
With with Holly becoming not just Megan's parent, but her manager, creative director, and the person who believed in the Stallion before anyone else did. That normalization of artistry, that household where creativity and hustle were the standard, shaped everything about who Megan would become, a woman who understood from childhood that success required work, that talent needed polish, and that the music industry respected grind more than wishes.
Big old freak, big booty, big old tree. I'ma make 'em wait for the pussy.
At just 14 years old, Megan started writing her own raps, stealing her mother's instrumental CDs, and secretly recording herself. When Holly finally discovered what her daughter was doing, Megan rapped for her over the I'm Different beat by 2 Chainz.
So I started going to the studio on my own. And so when she knew I was at the studio by myself and stuff, she was like, oh, hell no, I'm gonna manage you. And
That partnership between mother and daughter became the foundation of everything. Holly pushed Megan to be better, criticized her when she wasn't going hard enough, told her you could say it harder than that when Megan recorded verses that didn't match her potential.
Freak, freak, freak nasty. Go a couple of rounds, leave that dick up in the casket.
But before Megan became the Stallion, she was a student, and not just any student, but one with dreams far beyond music. Her grandmother told her to go to college to become a nurse. Megan enrolled at Prairie View A&M, attempting to follow that path.
my grandmother told me I should go to school to be a nurse. And I was like, okay, well, since my grandma said do it, I guess I'll do it. But I always knew what I really wanted to do. I just hadn't told my family. So I went anyway, and I would be sitting in class super bored.
She changed her major to business management, still unfulfilled. Then she discovered health administration, a field she was interested in because she'd watched her grandmother care for her great-grandmother.
So I told my grandma like where I was at with it. Like I was like, I really want to run some shit. Like maybe I could be the head of the hospital. I don't know. And she was like, you know what you should look into? Healthcare administration. And TSU had the major.
She eventually transferred to Texas Southern University, where she finally found her academic passion while simultaneously building her rap career.
The way they watch me need to be monetized. I'ma need a money bag if I sleep overnight.
The duality of being a college student and an emerging rapper wasn't a contradiction to Megan. It was survival. It was options. It was refusing to put all her dreams in one basket, even when one basket started overflowing.
Hands on my knees, shaking hands on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, hands on my knees.
The name Megan Thee Stallion came from Houston culture, where stallion describes a tall, thick, beautiful woman, and at nearly 6 feet tall, Megan embodied that. But she added "the" with 3 E's to make it distinctly hers, a branding move that showed business acumen before she even had a record deal.
I had to go ask, what is a stallion? So my uncle was like, yeah, that means you like tall and fine. I was like, oh yeah, I am that. I was like, okay, yeah, this is my Instagram name, this is my Twitter name, this is everything. So I've been the stallion since 2009.
Her breakthrough came through social media, specifically Instagram and Twitter, where she posted freestyle videos that went viral for their audacity, their technical skill, and her unapologetic sexuality. These weren't polished music videos with big budgets. These were Megan in her car, in her living room, on her college campus, wrapping circles around industry veterans while still taking exams and writing papers. Her 2018 EP, Tina Snow, named after Pimp C's alter ego honoring her Houston roots, included Big Ol' Freak, which became her first charting single and introduced mainstream audiences to this Houston girl who rapped explicitly about sex, money, and power with the confidence of someone who'd already won, even when she was still fighting for entry. In 2019, everything accelerated. She signed with 300 Entertainment, distributed through Atlantic Records, in a deal that would later become a nightmare when she realized the terms essentially made her a prisoner.
Things start really taking off. It would be me, my mom, and T. Ferris. So when we would be on the road, that's the team.
But before that reality hit, she dropped Hot Girl Summer, featuring Nicki Minaj and Ty Dolla $ign, a song that became a cultural movement, a lifestyle, a philosophy.
Look, handle me. Who gon' handle me?
Megan trademarked Hot Girl Summer because businesses were using it without compensating her.
So many businesses were using it. And of course, you know, when me and Rock Nation get together,
together. We be having to figure it out. What's
Right.
going on? What are you gonna do, Megan?
Right.
So yeah, it just felt like the smart thing to do.
But March 2019 brought devastating loss. Her mother, Holly Thomas, died from a brain tumor. Weeks later, her great-grandmother passed. Megan lost her mother and grandmother within a month, losing the two women who'd raised her, believed in her, and pushed her to greatness. She was 24 years old, grieving profoundly, and suddenly the sole manager of her own rising career without the guidance of the person who'd been steering it from the beginning.
When my mom passed, I just felt like I was looking for some type of family environment, and I was letting so many people in.
Like, I'm just running around here like a little rabbit waiting to get hunted.
Right.
So I really appreciate it when I meet somebody that feels real and genuine, because it's hard to let your guard down.
Right.
Then came 2020, the year that would define Megan's career and nearly destroy her spirit.
I'm a savage. Classy, bougie, ratchet.
In March, Savage dropped and became a viral TikTok sensation.
I'm a savage. Classy, bougie, ratchet.
Beyonce hopped on the remix, and suddenly Megan had her first #1 Billboard Hot 100 hit. She was on top of the world.
When I got the song, I was on my goddamn knees on the side of my bed thanking God. That's actually very insane. When I heard her vocals on the song, I had to call the producer, I had to call Jay White, I had to call my grandma. Ferris was already with me. Ferris is my brother, my manager, he everything.
In August 2020, WAP with Cardi B dropped and broke the internet. The most explicit mainstream female rap collaboration in history, celebrating female sexuality unapologetically. Conservative commentators had meltdowns, religious leaders condemned it, and it went #1, staying there for weeks, proving that women controlling the narrative around their own bodies and pleasure was exactly what the culture needed.
Gobble me, swallow me, drip down inside of me. Quick jump out for you, let it get inside of me. I tell them where to put it, never tell them where I'm about to be.
But between Savage going #1 and WAP dominating, something horrific happened on July 12, 2020. Megan attended a party at Kylie Jenner's house with Tory Lanez, a Canadian rapper she considered a friend, and her best friend Kelsey Harris. After being there all day, Megan wanted to leave. An argument erupted in the car, not even involving Megan initially, but between Tory and Kelsey in the back seat.
At that point, the argument wasn't even with me. Like, the argument was with the two people in the back seat. So I asked the driver to pull the car over, get out the car, and it's like everything happens so fast. All I hear is this man screaming. He said, dance. And he started shooting, and I'm just like, oh my God.
Megan was shot in both feet. Blood poured from her wounds as she crawled down someone's driveway. Tory Lanez immediately started apologizing, offering her and Kelsey $1 million each to stay quiet. But police helicopters already circled overhead. Someone had called 911 reporting gunshots. Here's where the story gets complicated in ways that haunted Megan for years. When police arrived with guns drawn during the height of the George Floyd protests, George Floyd had been murdered just weeks earlier, Megan made a split-second decision based on survival instinct.
I don't remember everything they said to me, but I remember them asking me what's happening, what happened to you, and I didn't want them to kill any of us or shoot any of us. So I just said I stepped on glass because I didn't want them to kill us. Like, even though this person just did this to me, my first reaction still was to try to save us. Like,
That lie, told to protect everyone from police violence, became ammunition for people who wanted to discredit her. Even after medical reports confirmed bullet fragments remained embedded in both feet, even after Kelsey Harris texted Megan's security guard, "Help, Tory shot Meg," immediately after the shooting, the internet decided Megan was lying. Blogs spread conspiracy theories. Male rappers made jokes. Social media called her a snitch, a liar, a clout chaser.
the doctor came in and he was like, you know, you got bullets in both of your feet. You got fragments in this foot, and it's like right on the back of your Achilles.
For 2 years, Megan fought not just for justice, but for basic human dignity, the right to be believed when you say someone shot you. Tory Lanez maintained his innocence, released an album called Daystar where he rapped his version of events, and his fans attacked Megan relentlessly online. Death threats flooded her social media. Bloggers accused her of lying. Mental health professionals could only watch as a shooting victim was treated like the perpetrator.
Rapper Tory Lanez has been charged with shooting
shooting artist Megan Thee Stallion during an argument. The DA's office says Lanez, whose legal name is Daystar Peterson, shot Megan's feet during an argument in the Hollywood Hills July 12th.
In December 2022, the trial finally happened. Kelsey Harris took the stand and suddenly couldn't remember texting "Help, Tory shot Meg." Couldn't remember anything clearly. Prosecutors suggested she'd been paid or intimidated into amnesia. Megan testified, describing that night in detail, showing photos of her wounded feet, and Tory Lanez was found guilty on all 3 felony counts: assault with a semi-automatic firearm, having a loaded, unregistered firearm in a vehicle, and discharging a firearm with gross negligence. On August 8, 2023, Tory Lanez was sentenced to 10 years in prison.
Tory, whose real name is Daystar Peterson, was sentenced to 10 years in prison for firing a gun at Meg and leaving her with bullet fragments in her feet.
Megan didn't celebrate publicly. She simply posted a message about closure and healing. But the damage to her mental health, her ability to trust, and her public image had been done.
I feel like my anxiety is worse. I feel like my relationship with people is gotten very cold because I'm not as trusted.
But Megan refused to be just a victim. While fighting the shooting case in court, she was simultaneously fighting her record label, 1501 Entertainment, in a different court. The contract she'd signed gave 1501 60% of her recording income, an unconscionable split. She couldn't release music without their approval. They controlled everything.
When I finally got real lawyers and people around me that knew what they were talking about, it was like some things in my contract are just unconscionable in the state of Texas. So it's like, well, let's just fix the things that are wrong.
She went public on Instagram, calling out the contract's unfairness. The label retaliated by blocking releases. Legal battles ensued. Eventually, Megan negotiated her way out, and in 2024 went fully independent, launching Hot Girl Productions.
I felt like I was so out of control for the longest. And when I say out of control, I didn't really have complete control over my music. They couldn't use my music in commercials. I had to literally go to court every time I wanted to drop a song. So I just was like, you know what? I need to do what's best for me.
Her 2024 self-titled album, Megan, came out under her own label, distributed through Warner Music. She financed the entire Hot Girl Summer Tour herself. Music videos, production, everything.
That's straight out of Megan Thee Stallion bank account. And that shit was not cheap. But that's okay, because I like good art. When I look at a music video, I want to watch that shit over and over again.
The tour sold out arenas nationwide. At Madison Square Garden, she broke the attendance record for a female rapper. Over 14,000 hotties packed the venue.
So when I came and I saw my day one New York people in the pit, screaming and cheering for me, people were giving me my flowers. I was like, wow, me from the South, I'm out here in New York really killing shit like this. I was so happy.
Her business ventures expanded beyond music. She became the first Black woman ever endorsed by Jack Daniels, not just as a spokesperson, but with her own drink coming in 2025, where she makes 15% of every bottle sold worldwide.
Actually inspired me to get my own tequila. Wow. Because I used to be the cognac queen. I'm still the cognac queen. Yeah. But as much as I used to, enjoy cognac, and I promoted a lot of people liquor brands, she was like, the next time I see you, you need to have your own. You need to have your own alcohol.
She opened restaurants in Atlanta, Garden Park in Brookhaven, a 5,000 square foot upscale spot. She launched her tequila brand. She invested in real estate. Everything her mother told her about building wealth, about owning things rather than just earning paychecks, Megan was executing that blueprint. But even with all that success, the online harassment continued, particularly from one blogger named Milagro Cooper, who operates under the name Milagro Grams. Cooper spent years spreading conspiracy theories about the shooting, claiming Megan lied.
Do you think they would be lost at this time? These are the things that I need you to think about. And I know, that they've sat online and tried to say, oh, well, Milagro is spreading misinformation. But if I was such a little fish that wasn't talking about bitch, they wouldn't even mention me.
In October 2024, Megan sued Cooper for defamation, cyberstalking, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. In December 2025, Megan won. A judge initially awarded her $75,000 in damages before reducing it to $59,000, but the victory wasn't about the money. It was about sending a message to every blogger, influencer, and content creator who thinks trauma is content and victims are clickbait.
I'm just happy.
The lawsuit victory came after Tory Lanez had already been sentenced to 10 years in prison, August 2023, after Megan had already rebuilt her career independently, after she'd already proven she didn't need anyone's belief to succeed, but it mattered. And personally, Megan finally found peace. In mid-2025, she started dating Klay Thompson, the NBA champion shooting guard who just signed with the Dallas Mavericks. Their relationship went public when they made their red carpet debut at Megan's Foundation Gala in July 2025. And by late 2025, Klay had named his boat SS Stallion after her. This wasn't like her previous relationships that played out messily on social media. This felt different, mature, private, healthy. Klay is 34, established in his own right, not trying to ride Megan's fame or compete with her success. He's won NBA championships. He's secured his own legacy. She's also been open about her sobriety journey. Megan stopped drinking in 2024, focusing on mental health and healing from years of trauma.
She graduated from Texas Southern University in 2021 with her bachelor's degree in health administration, becoming the first person in her family to graduate from college, fulfilling a promise she'd made to her mother before Holly died. In 2025, at 30 years old, Megan Thee Stallion stands as something the industry didn't expect, a survivor who thrived. She's manifesting an EGOT. She's already got multiple Grammys. She's already broken attendance records. She's already changed the culture, but she's not done, not even close.
Body crazy, curvy, wavy, big titties, little waist. Body crazy, curvy, wavy, big titties, little waist.
Megan Thee Stallion, at 30 years old in 2025, represents something powerful, proof that your trauma doesn't have to become your identity, that surviving doesn't mean staying small, and that sometimes the greatest revenge is simply refusing to let them break you.
Real hot girl
She's still that college graduate who proved you can be sexy and smart, explicit and educated, a rapper and a businesswoman.
Yeah, I know I'm different, I'm one of a kind. I took off on bitches and left them behind. How do you hate me if I'm on your mind?
Hot girl summer never ended. It evolved into hot girl healing, hot girl wealth, hot girl peace, and that's the real glow up.